We have filters now that should get some of the breathing and cut that out, so it should be very nice.
Oh, you said filters, and for a second I was like, oh, so I'm going to sound sexy.
Oh, we can do that too. Look, nice. I can change your threshold, ratio, release, gain, all of it. Everything.
Make me sound like a young Morgan Freeman.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the During Business Hours podcast. This is the day we talk about cocksuckers on the internet. Don't be a dick. Just got to say, there's certain times you buy things on the internet. You need to be wary. Be skeptical. Double check. Ins and outs. Everything. Protect yourself. That's all I'm saying. And I'm really good at being a double checker. I like to go and give my money to the professionals and the people that I trust, that I can do business with, that won't screw me over for pennies on the dollar. And I almost got fucked recently. So, a week ago, we're talking about ADVR. Mm-hmm. So I've really wanted more people to play this game with. And I thought it was great. Okay, let's get the new guy a virtual reality system. He played mine. He loved it. So I was going to go to my boy, Nabil. Owns Cellular Warehouse in Houston. Great price. I liked the price, but then he wanted to charge me shipping, which kind of goes to a retail price. Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey, I'll just find one on eBay. We got a used one for $150. Guy accepted it flat. And I was like, all right, cool. He told me he bought his son, I'm assuming 13 or older, because that's the rule for that. It has to be a 13-year-old kid. A new MetaQuest 3 and upgraded, so he's selling his other one. The 256 MetaQuest 2 with controllers and charger with a box in the picture here. It looks like it comes with a picture. First glance, you wouldn't even notice that that's not the right box. That's a MetaQuest 3 box that's on the posting on eBay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is the original listing for $149 is what he took. Originally, it was posted at $200. But I assume this picture came with it, this box. Mm-hmm. His description said used, they upgraded, will ship newer boxes, how we don't have the original boxing, but he didn't ship with the newer box. And he did not ship it with the charger, which says here, they have little scuffs, works great, headset in great condition, everything works. Never had any issues with the headset or controllers, looking to sell as we recently upgraded, charging cable included with the device as well, but not pictured. And I was like, holy shit, this guy, 1,500 items sold. He knows how to sell on eBay, so he's vetted 99% at the time before my review. Contact rating, I contacted him, instant response the next day when I actually bought it. He accepted my offer, told him it was for an employee. I would love to just get this so they're playing some games. Well, I received it, and I'm going to send the video to Alan. This is what I received.
All right, so this is the eBay Oculus Quest 2. They were supposed to come with packaging. This box is too small to come with packaging. Excuse the background music. They never fucking turn it off. No matter what holiday or anything. That's not a good sign. Bunch of small. This guy had good review. Oh, I feel a handle.
Oh.
Why is there empty with bags in here?
I guess that's his packing tape?
Yeah, this is going to be weird. So there's... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go test.
That is awful.
Yeah, it's like yellow. It's dirty. No charger. Why do people do this? Like they're not, like they're gonna get away with it. You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
Oh, this is stupid. Now I've got his wife and the place he shipped it. This is how dirty and beat up this thing is. None of the photos look like this. Strap is all yellow. And there's like yellowing. Like somebody just kept smacking it into a wall.
So we received the most disgusting and beat up headset I think I've ever seen in my life.
And for a reference, those who have been watching our videos, this is worse than...
This is worse than the child who brought in one that had dropped in the toilet. And the charger was not included, which the charger's only like $30, but I was like, hey, I can clean this. I won't complain about the cleaning. I will not. I will, you know what? I got it for such a good deal. I saved $40. I will take the time to clean it. I'll buy a charger I just contacted him and said, hey, either you can send me the charger, you said it came with it, or I'll buy one and take it off the balance.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. That should be fair.
Right.
Turns out he didn't respond. Well, then we get to clean it. Took us an hour. Both of us an hour working on the handsets because it just had gunk and soda and nasty hand sweat. The face mask, I touched it and got a rash.
God.
It was one of those, like, the kid was sitting in it for 3 days, just like a smoker's house, you know what I mean? Where it's just sweat, gunk, and ass all over the walls, but it was on a face shield. I don't care if he's 11 or 35. You could be 70 and pissing on yourself. It looks the same. It's bodily fluids.
God.
Of some sort, it's bodily fluids.
Did you get checked?
There's more.
God.
So after, we turn it on and test it. The whole thing's been cleaned. It viciously cleaned. I'm proud of the cleaning. Like 300 Q-tips, few rags. We had to burn them all. We go and we turn it on. The left eye pass-through doesn't fucking work. So all you see is a black screen and half of your image. So you can see the room and then the rest of your game, but the background is black. Very fucking annoying.
Right.
And then it flickers kind of on and off to static. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to open a return request. I'll message him. I'm not going to be a dick to jump straight to return. Sent him a message because I'd already sent him a message about the charger. The next day, no response whatsoever. Like, well, you were responding to me when you wanted me to buy it. Mm-hmm. Well, it's the middle of the week, so he should be working, right? Well, his name's on the package. It looks like he's active on social media. He's making posts today. Why don't I just leave some feedback? And then I saw on his feedback, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you go straight to his feedback, and I'm like, 9 negative in the last 12 months. Oof. That's, 2-3% of his, that's 5% of his total. First thing I see is never arrived, refuses to respond, received wrong, not buying from them, took 3 weeks to ship, didn't respond to messages for 3 days, shipping process vanished, not necessarily seller's fault, issue refund immediately, not describe, away, policy expired, no reply, all I have to say. Basically, they are unresponsive when there's a problem in the last year. No contact. So I was like, I'm going to leave this after I've contacted him 3 times. I haven't opened a return request. I said I tried to reach out when I first received the item, but found out why. No response. It's not the item listed for sale. Which, let me move back. Once the eye issue was a thing, I was like, well, just try it, see if it's a fluke. We reached out, we're waiting for a response, and it turns out it's not a 256 gig. It's a 128, which is about $50 of a difference. So now I'm kind of pissed. So I'm like, either way, we're going to return it. Play it while you can. We'll return it, get you another one. It'll be fine. Still no response that next day. I left the review. I said I figured at the minimum they would check function and clean any debris for personal fluids from the unit. I end up cleaning it for over an hour and still couldn't clean the yellow stains off of it, so I tried to test it. Pass-through cameras are broken on the left side. Charger did not come with it as stated. Sold as a 256 and not a 128 gigabyte model, much cheaper. I was restricted to 500 characters, so I had to make it very like ding, 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 ding. Still, there was no response until a week later. So I opened a return the next day. This was 3 days in after getting the unit. I opened a return. He still had not responded, so don't worry about that response yet. And I'm figuring, okay, well, eBay's going to force a return by the 25th, and I get my money and I'll keep the item. That's the 2 options. Oh, cool. I'll keep it and use it for parts. It would have been great. Just don't respond to me. I don't need, you're fine. I know eBay's background and how to work the system, and I love it, especially when people are assholes. But if he wasn't going to be an asshole, this wouldn't even be a fucking video today. Sure, I was blunt with the problem to get his attention. I expected a business owner to reach out and be like, hey, listen, I was out of the office. I'm sorry. What can we do? I would have removed the review.
Not a response like this.
Yeah. This is the worst response in 14 years of business I've ever had. And I've dealt, as you know, with some of the worst creatures of this generation. Hi, Love Family LLC. I do not normally reply to ignorant weirdos, but you seem to cry out for attention. Well, you've gotten it. Let me first start off with a reply to your diatribe. Firstly, you declare that this is the wrong item. You're 100% correct. Bingo, just for a paraphrase here. That means we win because once he admits to the wrong item, I get my money back in full no matter what I do to the item. I have 2 sons aged 11 and 13 that bought the new Oculus 3s and asked to use my eBay account to sell the old ones. My 11-year-old was under the impression he had the same model as his older brother, which was the 256 gigabyte model. Then continued. So this just, fun. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, that's weird. So then he sends me a note inside the return as he rejects the return.
He rejects the return.
Yeah, return details. So he hid it in here.
Oh my God.
I would also like to know how you warrant accusations that you declare so boldly on eBay. First, you claim that you reached out to me when you first received the item. That was on January 17th. Why don't you state that your whining session, it was 1 day ago. It was 2. It was a whining session on that feedback. Yeah, of course. I own and operate a growing and expanding IT company. So no, I do not have the time to check my eBay feedback frequently. But like I said, you got my attention now. You go on and cry about cleaning the device for over an hour. Maybe rather than using your tongue on what you thought was the child's bodily fluids. And if you weren't a dipshit, you would have thought that this was previously a child's property. Most likely, it is the paint from which his wall is how the scuffs got on the controllers in the first place. Lastly, some food for thought. Maybe rather than being a loudmouth, obnoxious, self-declared victim looking to lash out on a public forum behind the false sense and protection you feel behind your keyboard, you should wonder how many enemies you've made and how many of them you've given your shipping address to. As I can see from your feedback, pause. I have one negative feedback from somebody I canceled an order to. Like literally he bought it. Turns out we were out of stock. I was like, hey, can I get you a replacement? It'll take a couple of days. Nope. Cool. Boom. Negative review because he didn't see that message for 3 days and thought we were still shipping it. Mm-hmm. But I canceled his order immediately. And then he found out 3 days later, which I'm sorry. We also made up. He just couldn't remove his feedback after 30 days. As I can see from your feedback, this appears to be repeated behavioral patterns that you exhibit. Just a word of advice. If in person, you're not feeling a false sense of security and justification while behind your keyboard, most people probably wouldn't let you get past the word preceding bodily fluids. In your nonsensical crybaby rant, should you act like that in public? Ironically enough, however, most likely, it would be your bodily fluids in their knuckles as you regain consciousness, reach for your mouth and realize that your teeth were just knocked out. You may want to consider thinking before you speak. And may you realize that sometimes a mistake is just a mistake. Not everyone is trying to get over on people, as one can intelligently infer when they see my eBay profile feedback holding 1,100 reviews. And with a 98.7 positive rate, maybe it's time to grow up, put the big boy pants on, and start mimicking the behavior of adults rather than screaming like a child throwing a tantrum. Some advice that I'll leave you with, which has served me well in life. And let's be very specific on his advice here. 1, don't be an asshole. 2, think before you speak. 3, if you have nothing nice to say, better not to say anything at all. 4, technically is 2 because think before you speak again. I don't think he's thinking. And then 5, consider seeking professional help, as mental health is most commonly overlooked and unfortunately ignored and or left untreated. Here's the link to Psych Central blog. Adults can have temper tantrums. Apologies again for the error in the post. I'll process the return label. Best, Steve Pena, 4 Sleepy Hill Lane, Hicksville, New York, 11801. Do not block that name out. I don't care, Mr. Pena. You're a cocksucker. This post right here, from me saying, hey, you're not responding to me, you've shown a systematic pattern of ignoring your customers over the last 12 months. Mm-hmm. I won't be one of those. You can say, hey, so what's going on? What's the problem? Oh, let me go ahead and return it. But no, it gets better. This wasn't the last message, because then he sends me a personal message. Oh. Because all I said in the return, I said, received 128, not the 256. Pass-through camera is defective on the left side. Besides the litany of other scuffs and damages, I'm surprised you even sold this. I'd like to return it for my money back and purchase the correct model. I'm surprised he sold it in that condition. Didn't wipe it, nothing. Like, ew. It looks like somebody pissed on it. It was bad.
Well, supposedly it was his, quote-unquote,
wall
child.
Yeah.
That sold it.
So I got one final message from this gentleman. Oh, yes, it's just as long.
Oh, my God.
At 8 a.m. this morning. Continued. Secondly, this is a used item as stated in the auction. I'm aware. And also in the photos, the description stated the controllers were scuffed up with photos. So how could you possibly be surprised by that? Did you not look at the photos or read the description? And yes, while my 11-year-old son mistakenly thought it was the same model, we were able to verify via the receipt and the serial number of the unit. This was not the 256 gigabyte model. Thirdly, do you just assume and make declarations about bodily fluids being on things? What type of fluids in particular did you find on my 11-year-old son's VR headset? Are you someone that looks to buy used items specifically for random young children's bodily fluid residue? Are you using these VR headsets to catfish young children? I read some of your buyer feedback and it seems like you don't understand how auctions work and that you are buying used items. Additionally, the camera on the headset was tested.
First of all, those are some very bold accusations coming out of left field.
For me opening a return about him sending me something that's obviously damaged and just not well thought. Because I'll show you his store. There's no reason this store should sell an item like this in this condition. Take a look. Wow, Snapshot Sports. It was 99% before, 1,500 sold, 40 followers. They even have categories. They take great care. Oh, look, they sell bait. You would assume, they're not going to sell cards with piss on them. They're not going to, oh, look, that PC, they'll probably clean that up. They'll dust it out. They even have new inventory. Boy, they're selling a lot of cards. They got Pokemon cards too. They got everything. They must take great care to sell their items. Disregard, they have 10 pages of fucking items. They do this for a living. They have to. Because they have 4,000 fucking items posted.
Right.
So I would assume that I'm dealing with a business owner that took a little care.
Right.
Just a little care.
100%.
Right?
100%.
And that's the reaction I got. So would you like to see my response? Because I was like, well, fuck it. I'm having my coffee early this morning. As you all know, I will prepare you that I am a petty motherfucker. And when you try to step on my toes, I just put my big boy pants on and break your fucking feet. So I decided to respond while having my coffee, and my wife went and got McDonald's. I'll start with my first message before I saw the other crazy message. I only saw the personal message before I saw the return details message for clarification here. So I sent 2 originally. First one, I said, your yellow stained and sweat gunked controllers were photographed with the potato of a phone. Pathetic you couldn't even take sanitary wipe to them or the face shield. Guessing on bodily fluid? I took a video, don't worry. If you can't get your kids to clean them when they use them, then laughing my fucking ass off. Not even a Lysol spray, my feedback doesn't matter in the slightest when you didn't do the basics of selling and check the correct item in the first place. Not its information or function, let alone did you even send the correctly listed components. You failed on every step here. And if you had actually tested the unit in the first place instead of trusting your 11-year-old, who's obviously gotten it wrong from his father, gee golly, then you wouldn't have been put into this position. Because no matter what happens, in whatever world you live in, the one rule that eBay has, post the correct item. Used or not, auction or buy it now. That's the only rule. So don't be mad at me for your shortcomings here. This is solely your issue selling a broken and undervalued unit without cleaning or checking the form or function. Which is shocking coming from someone who looked like they cared for their store. Then I saw his child bullshit predator stuff and I was like,
Bold accusations.
bold, brother. And his threat, like, you don't know how many enemies that was included. And I was like, LOL, here's where I get petty. I've just seen your sad man thread over the feedback. Enemies I've made from one of the many IT startups on the East Coast. I'm glad you're feeling like a big, strong man crying emoji. You've got one of my business's addresses, my man. If you'd like my personal, then just request it. I'm everywhere on the internet. Google me. Go for it. You're not hard to find either. Here's the funny thing, and I'm just going to put this in here. Crazy when somebody sends their garbage and packing material what you may find. You made it horribly easy on my end. Don't make petty threats over eBay of all things. You think feedback matters so much when you look at your own. Paints a picture of you not responding in any instance. So enjoy your life wondering how someone with the means and opportunity reacts to sad men without a care. Toodaloo. What I hold in my hand is the personal address to this gentleman and his wife. His home address on an Amazon fucking parcel, because not only in that package with the headset did we receive newspaper clippings, garbage bags. It was very poorly packed, like somebody just threw it in.
Like a child did it?
Like a child. But they threw in a lot of their Amazon garbage. Yeah.
That's so dumb.
And you know, she's not involved, so we'll bleep her name. But Miss Pena is, her address is on this parcel. So, shitty version of me says, I'll send them a box of flaming shit. Well, it's really not flaming because you can't make things explode. I could just make a glitter bomb or something to that nature and send it to him. Be like, courtesy of Christopher Love with Love Family, Love Two Fix, Love Hobby, and like just put all my businesses on there and be like, here you go. I could do that, but I can't imagine when he heard me saying bodily fluids, what he assumed. Maybe he's got kids that like to jerk off or do nasty things, but I did not think in any way it was sexual because it's a face mask and controllers get like dirty grip sweat hands.
Right.
And that was all just nasty stuff. Like somebody had poured something on the controller on the left side, but obviously bodily fluids being sweat, grip, gunk.
Kind of like a general term for that.
Bodily fluids.
Yeah. That's my first thought.
And he went to like bodily fluids.
Right.
Yum.
Some people.
So this man apparently runs an IT company in New York.
Did you look it up?
I did. So we could get even more into I don't want to. I'm just saying his startup is very startup.
Uh-huh.
Like trying to get off he's trying to raise money. I think, there's a million ways you can fuck with this guy. And I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to fuck with this guy or that I'm even going to fuck with this guy.
Is it really worth it?
It's fucking worth it. I woke up at 7 a.m. to this bullshit. It's absolutely worth it.
Can't you do something about like his post that he...
Oh yeah, I reported it already. I made sure not to say like, hey man, F you, blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't understand the mentality. This has to be the dumbest boomer in the history of eBay selling. Because not only did he make 4 threats, 2 accusations of child harm or disgust, lewd acts, to the words bodily fluid. Should I call it sweat? Your child's sweat, sticky fingers? I didn't originally. He said his kids upgraded or he bought his son stuff. He didn't say 11-year-old in the post or when he was messaging me like, oh.
Right. So for all you know, he could have been like 20-something, whatever son.
Yeah. It could have been like a 30-year-old son and he bought him a new one for Christmas and he was just like, yeah, help me post it. I thought he was an older guy. He sells fucking baseball cards massively on eBay. He's probably an older guy. He could be 60 and going, oh, son of a bitch opened plenty of negative feedback on I'm going to get restricted on my sales. Oh, the 150 he sent me is already in holding because he opened a return request. Because when you get a return like that, they do hold your money. They hold it immediately. I know, I get returns all the time because I sell a lot on eBay. I looked at my personal eBay from my California stores that we got blocked last year. We got suspended for the person who was handling our eBay postings decided to put a QR link for private financing into there. So if somebody scanned it, they could buy it personally instead of going through eBay. Kind of sneaky, against the rules. We got suspended.
Right.
But that has 16,000 feedback. 16,000. Not 1,100. He's been on here since 2007 and has 1,100 feedback at 98%. We had 16,000 at 99.4%. And we were on there since 2014. You're in the wrong industry, my man. So yeah, I've been there. I just don't care about eBay as much anymore because it is dying. They've lost 40% of their user base in the last 2 years. Everyone's leaving eBay. Facebook Marketplace and a couple others. I'm not going to give you the tips. You already know them. But people like this are why eBay's dying.
Yeah.
Boomers, drop your comment right now. Let me know how I should react to Mr. Pena's accusations. Should I just report him to eBay and let it go? Or should I send him a glitter bomb? Should I send him a thank you note? Should I piss on the headset and return it? What should I do? Yeah, should I give him back the bodily fluids that I had cleaned off of it? Should I return it in its original state? That's a question. And I would love your feedback in the comments below because I read and respond to every comment. We love you. We really need your help on this one because I will do horrible things in my head.
God. Why don't you just send him back the trash that he sent you in the box?
Yeah, I already kept the trash.
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be a problem. I was like, just in case.
Send him back his trash and the trash of you cleaning all the stuff from the Oculus.
Because this was maybe 4 or 5 hours. What is it? Noon? 5 hours ago he sent me these messages. I can assure you he's going to respond.
It's 2:48.
Yeah. Oh, 7 hours he sent me ago he sent me these messages. I can assure you he's going to respond in some manner, some instance, once he Googles me. Because I'm not hard to find. You want my address? I'm at 2728 Williams Avenue in Woodward, Oklahoma, 73801. This is my semi-retirement business. This is all I wanted. I was like, all right, just a little pop-up store, hang out, don't give a shit, raise the kids. Yeah, it's supposed to be a good life. And then I got to deal with fucking peñas out here. I can only imagine what he's teaching his kids.
God, never let your kids sell anything on eBay.
Don't let your fucking parents sell anything on eBay. Children, if you're out there, take them off. Block their phone numbers now. Report their accounts. Remove them. Life will be better. It's one of those stressors you don't need from petty, ignorant people. I checked. He doesn't have any like YouTubes for what he does. Doesn't make content. He's not on social media. Doesn't have a business with this business. Even though he's got 4,000 cards posted. If I was him, I would have some, protections there.
Right.
But no, it's just under his personal name with his correct address.
Some people just have nothing better else to do with their lives.
Well, then you can find his ex-wife and all kinds of other things on the internet. It's IT company.
Is she single?
I don't know. I didn't check her stuff. I wish the children nothing but the best. I hope they're enjoying their Quest 3s. Sorry that I'm not the purchaser of the Quest 2. I love my MetaQuest Pro, but it was an interesting way for a business. In my opinion, somebody does that to me. Let's go over not my opinion. Let's go over what would you have done if I was buying your product and I left you that review. What would you have done?
And like you had gotten that product from me?
Yeah, if I bought your headset.
First of all,
you didn't respond for a couple of days, and then I left you the feedback. You're in his shoes. Go.
First of all, I would not have let my child sell something on eBay. So that's step one. And
he's selling it for his children.
I thought he said his child.
No, it's his child's that asked him to sell it. So he sold it for his children.
Well, first of all, I would have cleaned it first because I don't want my bodily fluids everywhere.
It's hard not to say it because it's a bodily fluid.
Yeah, sweat.
Spit, sweat, hair, toenail fungus, whatever you want as a bodily fluid. Anything that's liquid to a solid somewhat. Even gas is a bodily fluid. Did you know that your farts are a bodily fluid?
Yeah, because the one thing with the Quest is there for like activity, physical activity. So what's one thing that you're going to do when you're physically active? Sweat. What's something that can keep all that sweat is the little headset foam
Unless you get
piece.
the silicone, because then it just runs down your face like tears.
That's true. But did they have the silicone? No.
Obviously not.
And so if you sent that to me, first of all, would not have been that aggressive. I would have been like, hey, man, I'm so sorry. I messed up. That's on me. I'll send it back. I'll clean it. I'll readjust everything, and send it back to you. No extra charge or whatever, and refund you whatever it was for my mistake of.
Or just return it, yeah.
Yeah,
so
or
you would have
return it.
handled it like a normal business owner.
Yeah. There's no need to be rude.
I wasn't rude with the feedback. I was like, hey, it's not the right one.
No, yeah.
It's much cheaper. It came in an ungodly, dirty condition.
Yeah.
Please respond. Here you go. And now, I'm the villain? I'm fucking Batman in this situation. I just thought 10 steps ahead of you. All I wanted you to do was respond. I didn't expect that I got a lot more than I asked for.
Right.
And the content is booming. Because in no world did I think this man would go on a tirade saying that him and all of his IT company, all of his friends that make hundreds of dollars a day, were going to know my name. It's amazing what you might find on the internet with your address.
Like, is somebody so delusional with the fact that they just want to destroy some random person that they don't know for a mistake that they made themselves?
He admitted to making the mistake, too, which is crazy.
Yeah. He said, you're 100% correct.
So why are you still talking? I think I hurt his ego. Or maybe he caught his children doing something very naughty, and it brought up the horrible pain. So I'm sorry if I brought up a very soft memory for you, Mr. Pena.
You hurt a man's pride.
I did. I'm good.
But
I'm very good at that, though.
deserved. I mean, come on. Like,
welcome to the world of eBay. The timing, right? But yeah, it's been an interesting morning and a great day. It's been fantastic for business. We've been booming. My tiny little store that's nowhere on the scale of an IT company. Never.
yeah. That probably makes way more money than... Sorry. I don't want to hurt his ego.
Considering money, I lost $3,000 at the casino last night.
Did you?
I fucking did.
Again?
Yes. My wife brought it up as a birthday thing, and her cousin wanted to take her. So let's get into that. If you're not here for the gambling content, get the fuck out. We're done with eBay. The guys, once he responds, we'll talk to you. But, like, comment, do your thing, hit subscribe on your way out. So I went to the casino. We walk in, 3 buttons, we hit $1,500. But do we leave? No. We're degenerate gamblers. Here's where the night turns into a very sad moment and how this podcast turns very, what's the word? And then we found the babysitter, no. But we went to the casino. We played some money. We had a high. We were like, yeah, we'll lose $2,000. We had $1,000 in cash. So we played the $1,500. We really lost like $2,000 out of pocket. Mm-hmm. So we lost, our money. But we were there for a few hours, had fun. But when we went and took the kids to the babysitter, here's where the juice really gets to it. My wife doesn't want me to say what I'm about to say because we had a feeling dropping the babysitter off. Something was weird. She has that.
Scandalous.
She says she has diabetic neuropathy. So her legs and feet are kind of like stiff or whatever. So she comes out, and I guess she was asleep and having a nap till like 6 p.m. She's never usually asleep. Her house is usually clean. Comes out and face plants onto her kitchen floor. So her boyfriend runs up, grabs her, tattooed guy, whatever. They live in a trailer park. They're nice people, normally. Mm-hmm. Never thought drugs. Never suspected drugs. Never thought she was on or doing something like, do you want to go to the hospital? Your doctor? You fine? Do we need to reschedule? No, I'm fine. I just tripped, these stupid feet of mine. And he's like yelling at her, like, get up, homie. You just fell. Oh, my God. You're looking like an idiot. Kids are jumping on the couch, doing their thing. They go straight to their spots. And we go. We're like, all right, you're fine. You're sure? She's like, yeah, I'm just waking up from a nap, blah, blah, blah. You'll be fine. It'll be fine. Great. So I go. We go to the casino. We come back. We're losers. We're just like, yeah, we're going to go home, have some ice cream, snuggle in bed, make ourselves feel better. Not to know the next day what would come. And we decided, all right, let's go pick her up. We're not going to text or say anything. We'll just show up. Thank God we did.
Oh, my God, what happened?
We knock. Sounds like scrambling. The kids are eating fish sticks, and it's a weird thing. I'd never seen somebody go and get fast food and feed kids fish sticks.
In the morning?
Yeah, no, it was at night. The kids had fish sticks, and they were eating Dairy Queen, like nachos and fries and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? I would have paid for the food for the kids, not a big deal, but like, we don't do that. But I walk in, and I see a pipe on top of a steel tray, out of the reach of the children on the counter, but like tucked out. It wasn't there earlier. Next to the pipe, as I go and grab it to say, hey, I want to put up your stuff, because I thought it was just weed. Maybe they walked outside, smoked weed, whatever. I don't care. Weed's not really a concern of mine as long as it's not in the kids and you're not driving anywhere, doing anything stupid. Don't be high around the kids. Don't, I figured it was in their house previous. Mm-hmm. And then the pipe rolls over and there's 2 pens. You know what pens are for?
What?
Fentanyl. Yeah. So people, when I used to smoke fentanyl, and yes, Mr. Pena, if you ever see this, I was a drug addict. We would take the pen, cut it here, and now you have a smoking apparatus. So you'd line your fentanyl on the foil, light it from beneath the foil, and chase the dragon. And so you can flare these out to be a bigger, hit. And it looked like a clear pen, blacked on the end with a flared tip. 2 of them. One that looked smaller. Right then and there, I'm like, let's fucking leave. Absolutely, we're gone. Mm-hmm. Never coming back. I didn't smell it in the air. We decided to get the kids some tests and make sure that everything was fine. Thank God. Because the only thing running through my mind is that fucking babysitter could have killed my kids.
Right.
Like, So we all stayed up, had a great night, had some, piss tests done, clean, clear, and in control. But now I was trying to figure out, I asked Heather, who was here earlier, if you don't know Heather from our previous Woodward EMS video. She's very scared of being on the podcast. Welcome, Heather. Come in, have a chat. She's the nice one at the EMS. I finally got my check, Heather. Thank you.
Finally.
It was a month and a half late. A month and a few days. But the problem was, where do I report this babysitter who watches other children, not just my kids, to the authorities without being like the first-hand experience person? Because I don't want to be like up on the stand going, yeah, I saw it was drugs. Oh, how do you know it's drugs? I'm a former addict. You're not seeing my kids. It's not like you have any rights to my kids. Goodbye. Adios. Get some help. Because I really think she's a nice person. And maybe it's the dude she's with that is influencing, because when he wasn't around, she had a roommate. It was nice. It was clean. But yesterday was there was a weird vibe, weird time.
Just all around.
All around weird.
Mm-hmm.
Drugs. Napping at 6 p.m. trying to tell myself she's a sick person. When I was on drugs, I thought I had like massive arthritis in my left knee, hand problems. Got cortisone shots from the government, and they were like, here, come by and get cortisone. Mm-hmm. The moment I got off drugs, I was like, man, my mind told me there was so much pain. And 6 months later, when I started getting treatment, I was like, no, there's not an ounce of pain. It's like a weird thing my hand can do with a muscle. That's about it. And I'm like, oh, that must really hurt because it bounces over the bone.
Power of your mind.
Dude, I convinced myself I was messed up. Like going in for weekly cortisone shots for 4 months. Mm-hmm. Fentanyl does weird things.
And I convinced myself that women are scared to talk to me. This is what you should play next time you go gambling and you lose. Never.
That's my problem. When I want to go, she doesn't. When she wants to go, we do. And then when I don't want to go, she's like, oh my God, here we go. We should go. My cousin, Tiffany, shut the fuck up, please. I don't want, no, stop telling my wife, oh, my husband's starting to go, so I don't have to go 6 days a week without my husband. I fit in with Oklahoma. I got to save some for Mr. Pena, checking his very small fists.
For when he has your bodily fluids all over his hands.
Nice.
Did so yesterday I got a call from my case manager who's doing my thing for my contract. They called me again and they were like, hey, no, nothing about getting or not getting the job. It's still right here. And he was like, hey, so they sent...
More interviews, more questions, and more verifications, please.
So last week, I had sent them an electronically signed form that I signed with my mouse pad, my finger, so it looks like my signature. And then like a text box on the thing with my name, my social, everything. Legal. Like, I did it. I sent it to him. It's verified through me, so they can go check my IRS stuff. He called me yesterday, and he's like, hey, so they want it handwritten with your handwritten signature. They don't want it electronically signed.
The IRS does?
Because
you're talking a release of information for the IRS documents.
Yeah.
The IRS doesn't want handwritten. Mm-mm. The IRS wants DocuSign, verified, black, blue ink, doesn't matter.
No, it's not. The IRS isn't asking for it. It's the people higher than my case manager that want this for the job.
Sounds like they're being difficult just not to give you the job.
I mean, they're being like very, very thorough.
You electrocute yourself? Band-Aids on top of the fridge. Don't worry, it happens to me too.
But
you should have seen him just...
But yeah, so yesterday...
Wranglers. Sorry, he just basically mooned the glass in a brand new pair of Wranglers.
Yeah, so basically yesterday I hand signed everything and filled it out and sent it to them again. So maybe this next week I'll hear something if they don't want any more information.
Dude, it's been a crazy day.
Sounds like
It's only
it.
3 o'clock.
Sounds more crazy for you than it has for me. I woke up like at 10 in bed.
How glorious was that?
It was nice.
Dude, my kids were both up because my son's now potty trained. He's just waving it around and like I don't care, getting it in the bowl at least. Takes off, potties, wipes, because I have young kids with bodily fluids. He's 4, almost next month. And so he doesn't wake us up for the potty anymore. Doesn't pee the bed. He had late water, late drinks. Totally fine. Mm-hmm. Weird. It's like all of a sudden we don't have to worry about spending $40 a week on fucking diapers. Gambling.
Nice.
Yeah. But no. So they were up by themselves till like 8:30, let me and my wife sleep. Yeah.
Man, how thoughtful of them on a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
I can't wait for tomorrow when they're up at 7 a.m. and somebody breaks a bone or screams like they broke a bone. And then, Daddy! Daddy!
Is that
help
usually
me."
what happens on
Dude,
Sunday?
yeah, I'll come into the house and somebody's upside down in between the couches. Like, look, my head stays. Like, they're just waving their arms and head, but they're upside down. Mm-hmm. Like, normally like this, they're like that. They're just going, hey, Daddy. Yeah. My kids are nuts.
What fun children.
What fun it is to have children. We were talking the other night of like, hey, we should have had a third. Because apparently when you go from 2 to 3, the parents just don't care. They let them break, do crazy shit, throw things, break things. Mm-hmm. They're like, yeah, they'll be fine. They're in the other room. But of course, we're not that way. Somebody screams, we run. Unless it's my son. And then I'm like, he'll be all right. Just let him die. There's times where I'm just like, oh, boy. But he let me sleep. I was up till 2 anyway, worrying about the babysitter, who should never be around children again.
Right.
Because even though it was on the counter away from where the kids could reach, man.
Still.
Nuts. In my darkest days of doing drugs, anytime a kid was around, nope, I'd rather go through withdrawals.
Right.
Yeah. I should have had a kid back then. It would have sobered me up to a degree. Absolutely. But I told my dad today about it, and he was like, yeah, you got to find somebody or somehow. So that's where I got into Heather with the EMS. I asked her, she found, was it OBN, the basically drug enforcement out here, is the place to call, and then call the sheriff and make a report about what you saw so that they have a history that this person's got drug in their home, etc. Because I think in Oklahoma you still need a search warrant even if you get somebody calling saying you're doing drugs. Mm-hmm. They can't really do anything about you doing the drugs, just the fact that you have drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, yesterday before going to the casino and almost ruining my life, the headset in question for Mr. Pena, we were testing to get a picture for his case in case eBay needed a picture of the damages. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, we'll test it, see about the pass-through camera. Well, just in case we don't have to send it back and we can keep it, because that happens quite often. Like just that heat warmer he's working on right now showed up broken today. Mm-hmm. We bought a brand new one for the customer. They sent it to us. It was slightly used, but like new. They sent it to us with no shipping packaging, and the fucking side of it was shattered down. So that's why he's going in and cutting his hand, trying to get all the internals of that unit and put it into the unit for our customer. Save us money. We make $200. We already got all the money back. They gave it to me immediately, said thank you, bingo, bomb, which I was super surprised because...
So they were chill about it.
Dude, she gave me an immediate... This is Vintage Ladybug with 22 reviews on eBay. If you need anything vintage, check Vintage Ladybug out. Not a sponsored post. She's got Hot Wheels cars, baking, decorating stuff,
Does she
shoes.
have vintage suitcases?
I bet. Tommy Hilfiger bags, shoes, kids' clothes, Suji boho wicker print placemats. I have no idea what the hell that is. That's cool. I'm going to add that to cart. That's cool. But seriously, I saved $90 by shopping with her, and now we're still going to have a happy customer.
But she owned up to her mistake.
Immediately. Hey, sorry I didn't put the packing on. Bada bing. Here's your full refund. Don't even worry about sending it back. I'm so sorry. 5 fucking star review. Positive. Bing. Boom. Done.
Immediate response.
Yeah, I didn't even need immediate. I was like, by tomorrow at least. Don't take a couple of days. Because I was going to do the same thing and take the innards out and try and salvage what it was. Mm-hmm. But we have to put, a couple of hours of work into it now. So, and you know what's funny? I found out I have 12 eBay accounts.
12?
12. I have 12 active selling eBay business pages.
Why so many?
Each business has one, and then some are business mixed with personal. Some do strictly electronic. Some do strictly refurb. Or, yeah, you can have up to 5 under each account. Yeah.
And you have 12.
I have 12 individual category accounts. So, like, Love Fam has 3. You know, one for the phones, one for woodworking, one for accessories. So, like,
I have 0.
you don't sell anything
On eBay?
Yeah.
No, I can't
Never?
sell. I can't sell my products on eBay.
Why not?
I can sell myself, but like in terms of
Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo, Alejandro.
all about emotional connection.
I am here just to be a cuddly friend. There's nothing illegal on mi honor. What do you say in Spanish? Muy? No, en mi. How do you say me?
Yo,
Un your honor.
wait, what? What are you trying to say?
On my honor. We know you don't speak Spanish, so.
En mi honor
En mi honor.
or
En mi honor.
mi honor,
Mi honor. Por favor.
my honor, please.
Yeah. Please give it back. 2 pence and a chime, sir.
Oh, I had somebody the other day interview with me, for me, interview to me. I don't know. They interviewed for the job for a position at Ivy League Medics.
Why are you taking interviews?
You know, in case I happen to go on a contract. So that way I can still have somebody here providing to the community while I
I
can
thought
go.
you had 1099s that you're giving the work to.
They get paid commission.
Yeah.
The business still gets a portion of what they do.
Even if you were on contract, you could take scheduling, couldn't you?
Not if I'm gone halfway across the world.
How not? What do you use? What's your software for scheduling right now?
Square.
So it could be automatic. Subscribe to Squares Plus advertising for $30 a month.
I'm lost in translation.
So you can use Square to have like your Square site, people to make their own schedules, get their own confirmations, get their info. If in a perfect world, some people just call you and want to be there Tuesday. They can leave you a message. You can send them a text message from Baghdad, Afghanistan, wherever you're at. Send them confirmation. Does this work for you? It's international. It's not like you're unavailable. You could respond in between work.
In between work.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are like consistent patients that I see, like once a week. So they would need somebody while I'm gone to go do their IV fluids. I also have some that see me once a month. So those are other regular.
Have you started the subscription based?
I had. Well,
Yeah.
it's
In process. Like it's starting. It's going to start slow. It's not like all of a sudden you got 500 clients.
yeah. Like I put it out there for people like as an option. I haven't gotten anybody to do it yet, but I have those regulars I already see monthly that they do like a full liter of fluids on top of vitamins and
So that's a single bag though, right? When you say a full liter.
yeah. So what I have in the subscription is half a liter bag, 500 mils, as the $80 bag of saline with B12 shots, B vitamin shots, glutathione shot.
Yeah. Their email marketing, that's what I'm thinking, for $15 a month.
I gotcha.
Their loyalty starts at $25 a month, which I hate their loyalty because it's like, hey, 5 trips and you get the 6 free. You know, basically they get a reward for however many points they get with you.
Mm.
And then nobody ever uses it because they charge for it. But if it was free, like I don't even use Square's tipping, but I'm just, you want to give me a tip, bring me some cookies.
Yeah.
Sealed, not homemade.
I was at one of my regulars and I had already eaten and they had given me some like homemade pasta that's got like
Your
some
fucking tamales are in my freezer.
still.
I'm sorry, I just realized that. I didn't take them home that night.
God,
It's still
Chris.
good though. Should be frozen.
Yeah, as long as they're frozen.
Let's hope the fridge didn't power off.
But I'm gonna try it later tonight. They gave me like homemade spaghetti that's like it's got rotisserie chicken, red bell peppers, squash, I can't remember what else.
Sounds like a mix of like chicken marinara and ratatouille.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw how Ratatouille was actually made instead of the Ratatouille movie. I don't know how that fucker failed so many times to make Ratatouille. That's like the easiest looking thing I've ever seen. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Is Ratatouille not just a bunch of vegetables wrapped in a pan with a sauce that's already mixed up? And then you cook it low and slow so that it softens everything with the sauce?
Some of them hand make the sauce too.
Yeah, you can do that. Just boil and peel your potatoes and or tomatoes and boom, 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 ice bath, blender.
Well, there's more to just the sauce and just that. Probably like tomatoes, onions, some spices.
Yeah, it's literally just, it's like a snake of freaking vegetables. It's a vibrant and flavorful dish that'll transport you straight to the heart of France, where they don't have pigs to slaughter. So we can't have pork. Parlez-vous français? Fuck no. If they were heart of France, no.
But it's the art of doing it that makes it so
it's like a souffle. You can't just make caramelized fucking vanilla. Sorry. I hate souffles. They're so overrated. I used to go to Ruth Chris and get those souffles all the time. It's annoying.
Ruth Chris?
Mm-hmm. You know what Ruth Chris is?
No.
It's like, Al's Steakhouse.
Like here?
Yeah, have you been there?
Yeah.
So imagine that, but fancy to where they come with like a crumb scraper and clean off your area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, average 2-person meal, $300 to $350. Yeah, you go for a tomahawk, it's $700.
Damn.
Yeah. Glass of scotch for $39.
That's
One
expensive.
finger.
Not even 3 fingers?
No, surfing. What was it? There's surfing steak and surf or
Surf and turf?
surf and turf, which is basically like lobster steak. I think was like $85, but their lobster mac is the reason me and Leslie would go so much. We'd go and we'd order it and like spend $75 on appetizers just to have that and like mix it up for dinner. Dude, it was the best when you're like, yeah, I got some money, but I also don't want to sit down for a fucking $200 steak and have a 4-hour meal because they make it so grandiose. Oh, you're having a celebration? Bottle. No. And they start cracking. They do all these like sprinkle things. They come by, they sing, and there's an opera singer and a pianist, and like it's fancy. You think you fancy? Go to Ruth fucking Chris. Take your girl for Valentine's Day. Not a sponsored question. But if you want to feel like a baller, find a Ruth Chris. Take a girl there. Dripping.
So then what's the question of what are you going to do this Valentine's Day?
I'm not doing jack shit. We just lost $3,000. Happy birthday and Valentine's Day. Love you, hun. I didn't want to go. She was like, well, birthday. I'm like, okay, cool. It's 10 days to your birthday. Let's do it. Or technically 6 days to, at the time, 7 days to your birthday.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it'll be like your birthday time because I was going to use this babysitter for an overnight at my house to take my wife to the city. No babysitter now, and only 6 days to find a fucking babysitter. Not going to happen. I guarantee it. You're not going to like the way you feel. I guarantee it.
Just leave them inside the store.
You want to watch my kids?
I'm not good with kids.
See.
Yeah.
Guaranteed it.
The first time.
Like monkeys where people are knocking on the window.
Oh, man, what's the freaking movie? I can't even remember. Basically just, I don't know. Just like, oh, hello, child. What do you want? What about some, because me and my buddy for a while, we were like, in order to make some like cash, trying to figure out some things to do for Valentine's Day to make money. Like where we do some kind of setup or something. So where couples can come in and have like a romantic-ish Valentine's Day and we make like buku bucks off of it.
Is there a wedding venue place somewhere in town?
I think so.
If I was 10 years younger, I'd probably rent a bunch of tables and chairs and then do my own outside dinner date projection movie theater. And just be like 10 couples, $150 a piece, dinner, candy, movie galore, fireside theater projection. Sell 10 tickets at $150. That's $1,500. Spend $300 on the rental and food.
Not bad.
I know, right? $1,200 return for a day for a 3-hour event.
Yeah.
I start work on the woodworking on Monday in Buffalo. I've been up there and tested. I did my sample pack over the last couple of days. If you don't know, that I also am a woodworker. Not a great one, but I'm starting out. And so I ran samples of like 4 different places on this bowling alley lane, you know, and basically it's water stain mixed with wood filler, oil stain mixed with wood filler, filled, lightly sanded, restained, and then not sanded, water and oil based, not restained, because they were like, we don't want any sanding, we don't want to have to restain. I'm telling you, the oil-based stain took longer to cure, but is the creme de la creme. Mm-hmm. It just fucking looks better. Well, listen, I hope you've taken something from this podcast today. I hope, in my deepest part of my cold, black heart, that you can be as petty as me one day and learn how to fuck with people on eBay. And leave that comment below. Let me know what you would have done as a business owner in my stead, how you would have reacted. What would you have said? You can always email at us at duringbizhours@gmail.com. BIZZ at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Send us your ideologies or how you would have just let it go and tell me what to do moving forward.
If you take anything else from this podcast, don't be an asshole. Own up to your mistakes. Jesus
just
Christ.
Bite the bullet. If not, you could be like Mr. Pena there, sit in his boots with his IT company fellows and angry people just behind his keyboard. I really want his bodily fluids on my knuckles.
God.
That's all I want right now.
That's ridiculous. That makes me cringe.
I know. That's all I was like.
Bad.
Did he, what? Who? Oh, okay. I'm in New York next, August. I'll be in New York.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Visit this IT company. Take a tour. How much are you funding? How much do you need? How much have you raised? You looking for investors?
You just buy out his IT company.
I would like a controlling stake in this company.
Oh, yeah. Then you kick him out.
Oh, my God. The board's going to vote. Don't worry. Yeah. If there's a board. If there's even a fucking company.
Yeah.
He probably, Mom.
You become the majority stakeholder. So
he's probably selling his nephew's shit, and he lives with his mother in a basement, and he's 45 years old. It's like, Mom, I sold blah, blah, blah's headset. Now the guy's mad at me. Mom. You never know. It's one of those things. He could be the most shredded, beefed up, steroided man making billions of dollars a year. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, the whole way he acted is just hilarious.
Yeah.
And it was a 0 to 100 so fast. I couldn't have went 0 to 100 if somebody actually got on my nerves. That's where I was shocked, because I'm usually like, oh, man, understanding. I'm like, oh, no, I see what happened here. Somebody got their pride hurt. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Bodily fluids. Next time on During Business Hours. We'll see you there.
Life can be super happy, life can be super sad. I'm trying super hard to separate the good and bad. I go back to my future just to get to my past, but